we had our own plans, and when we took them in and talked to Sloan, and that's when we learned about the scattered house.
Yeah.
So and they said they could work with us, and
they did.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
Jagoe's been around for a long time, and we both heard of them. Lisa's family has been in lumber, and my father's been connected to construction as well. So we've heard of Jagoe for a long time.
But recently we had friends that actually built a house in this neighborhood, and so we had purchased the land already and talked with them, and they shared what a wonderful experience they had and said, you ought to give them a call, and that's what we did.
And we didn't know that they built homes on
designed or scattered, or what they call scattered homes. So we got educated on that piece of it when we talked to them, and we're excited after we had our first meeting. So we did meet with other builders. I think, again, it was the attention to detail, the structure, the timing of all of it. There's it's like a well-oiled machine, so we were going to get it sooner, and we were excited about that.
Yep.
It's so organized, so structured, from, warranty to the manual. After the first meeting that we walked away with, we were like, oh my gosh, we've got homework to do. Yeah. And it was nice to sit down and read it and learn about it and just understand that we were going to get walked through everything. Didn't have that same experience with our first house, and so it was really nice to have that partnership.
Yeah, really comprehensive.
Yeah. From start to finish, Sloan, Craig, Jackie, Beth, we go down the list, Eric, Joey, Bernie, Dan. I mean, we had several people.
Really?
Yeah, everybody was very good to us and just very attentive, and, really wanted things to go well.
Yeah, if you had questions, and we thought this was great, if you had questions, they got right back with you. Everybody's really good about that. It's just, I don't know that you see a lot of that, because that communication was very important to us. And
they put things in front of us that we didn't think about, so it was nice for us to have that, go back and forth and get it right.
We wanted an open design. We wanted everything to be on one level. We needed for the chair for me to be able to get around, really. Mm-hmm. Wider doorways, pretty much. A shower that I could roll into.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been really great. Just the whole process. I mean, Craig Jagoe actually came out and wanted to make sure everything was good for us, for both of us. And if it wasn't, he made it clear that he wanted to make it right.
Well, they had us come out and test the thresholds, right, to see if his chair would go across easily, which is a big deal. They pointed a couple of things out that we hadn't even thought about, even though David's been in the chair for a long time. It was nice to have that partnership too, that they were thinking about it. Was the shower head at the right height, in the shower, and all the hallways 3 foot apart, the doorways. We redesigned the powder room bathroom so that David could get in and out. So that was really nice.
Yeah, they went above.
We have to call out Jackie and Beth because they were both great, and they, would give us options and, would say, okay, you go home and think about it, and here's some samples, and we would meet with them a couple of times, and we're really pleased with how it all turned out.
Well, and they made it work. They were very patient.
Yes, they were very patient.
Yeah, we kind of changed our minds a few times,
Yeah.
And it's a lot of decisions. It's hard to
visualize it sometimes. So it was good. He's right. They were very patient with us as we made changes a couple of times. So they were
awesome.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. It was really nice. Even went somewhere and took pictures of another house. The color, with the board and batten that we ended up choosing, and sent those to us via text, and we were like, oh my gosh, okay, that's it. That's what we want.
Yeah, very cool.
We were always involved. I mean, you know, even if Beth had a suggestion, she'd say, this is what I'm thinking. She'd send us something, and it was all good. Terry, we forgot to mention Terry. Terry helped us to redesign and do some things, you know, with the house. And so he was very attentive and listened to all of the things that we wanted in the house. So I wouldn't say there was any exception to that. We had the touch faucets in the other house, which is important for David, and so they helped find those. It's not a norm in the Jagoe standard, but they did do that, and so that was nice too.
Yeah, we were able to get a little more space. You know, you'd think we'd be downsizing.
We could talk about the driveway. You didn't talk about the driveway.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, their attention to the driveway, the walkway, and out front in detail for him is different because he can do it by himself. And we asked if they would take the bump out of the bottom of the driveway because when he drives, it's just a challenge to go over that big bump. And so David goes, I can't believe it.
I should have said that. Yeah. I remember either Craig or I guess it was.
Yeah, I think it was Craig.
And Craig, he said, "Oh yeah, we had already planned to do that." I was like, "Right on."
Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah.
Anticipated.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Framing it up, that was cool. That was a big one. And then the roof's on, that was big. And then when they started putting the stone and on the outside, that was big.
It started to come to life a lot more.
Lights.
You know, I think once the windows and the doors, we redesigned the back here.
Oh, yeah.
Once we saw that in, we were like, oh yeah, that really works. And it was really nice. I mean, we wanted it to be more open. And again, Terry worked with us on putting the transom up there. And it was really nice to see that. And the cedar beams outside, that was a surprise. Not necessarily a surprise, but it was a wow factor when you walked out there,
anyway.
You know?
We didn't know it was going to look like that.
You know, when we came in and talked with Dan and he walked us all through the house to make sure everything was working, and then Eric came back in and did some things with us. I mean, again, we hadn't had that experience with our first house, so it was really nice to see the level of detail that they went through and know that they wanted to make it right. So we were a little delayed in the landscaping and yard work just simply because of the weather, but outside of that, we really didn't have anything that needed attention right away.
No,
yeah,
not at all.
I think we've said several times we can't believe we're here. We kind of visualized it for several years, and to see it come, be here and be alive, it's like, is it really ours? And we are still settling in, I think, but we love it.
Yeah, we were like, are we on vacation?
Yeah. Is it going to go away? The back porch is my favorite.
But this area right here too.
Yeah, yeah. The openness of the living room to the kitchen, and we're anxious to get the weather a little bit warmer and be able to be outside more.
We haven't gotten into summer yet, so we haven't had to see what cooling bills were going to be like. But I mean, the tankless water heater, that's great.
It's definitely tight. I don't know how to explain it other than that we feel like it's really efficient in the sense that when you go to close a door, it's secure, the Google Home we've learned and worked with, and that's been nice, 100%, 110%. We would recommend them every day. In fact, we have some other friends that we're looking and we said, hey, you need to talk to Jagoe because they've just done a wonderful job for us.
Yeah.
We were out last Saturday night. One of our old neighbors was there, and she said, "Oh, we drove by your house.
Yeah.
Who did your house?" So we had another opportunity to talk about Jagoe and all of that. So that was really good. And they just kept saying, "Oh, we love it, we love it." So
yeah, and then we'll go, do you like it? People really like it.
yeah. 100%. We would choose them again and again.
We would probably do it.
If this wasn't the forever home, we would choose them again. Yeah. Everybody in the process has just always been so attentive and nice. And, in today's world, you just don't come across that all the time. And it was consistent. And it was every time we had an experience, it was good. So I think, keep that going. Don't change that. Keep the right people in the process, because it's important. I work in healthcare, and it's challenging at times. And so when you have those challenges, it's just important that you have the right culture and character in place. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what Jagoe has.
Definitely built a great culture.
I think that transparency and recognition has also been really nice. It's like, we know that nothing's perfect, but if something's wrong, we're going to come out and fix it. And that's important to us. Do your research. Always do your research. Yeah, ask the questions, work with people, figure out, don't, if you change your mind, you change your mind. It's important to have the right space and place for yourself. Mm-hmm. So
I think if you haven't, this, to me, this is a different company than it was 25 years ago or so. And it is just really solid, very comprehensive, very, everything, we've been talking about, and Lee's been pointing out. It's a fantastic organization.
Yeah. Give them a call. Let them show you what they can do.